our dough, chaps. We've done our dough.
Welcome back to Odds. My name is Alex Jusek, and here we are at week 41. So, last week, very good, back on track. Racing, we had a lot of collects. Some of the key winners were Tats and Markey. Benazil was really good, over the odds at $6. Magor, excellent. Didn't really sit where I expected. Did blow out in the market. Probably should have waited a bit longer and got around that $6 mark. Was better. Same with Memo. Got that locked in at $8. Ended up paying $10. Great win in Sydney down the outside. Should have done better with the Quinellas and Trifectas there. The Trifecta paid something like $2,500. Got a little bit back from the Quinella, but huge. Alabama Magic running third. There was that one that ran second. I think it was about 10-15 to 1. So that was a really great possible cash injection, but wasn't there. Apart from that, Winner's Edge was also good. So we got back $73.77 with a few $2 and $3, $4 things here and there. So around about a 50% profit off the 50. And then in the footy, North were great. Larky kicked his 2 goals. Sam Darcy, interestingly enough, was $1.04 to kick a goal or more. Kicked that goal within like the first minute or two of the game. Didn't kick anything else. And he terrorised Collingwood last night, looking like he was going to kick 5, 6, 7. Only kicked one against North, who the margin did threaten to blow out beyond that 35-point buffer a number of times. However, North did pull it back. The elastic did swing our way, and that's sort of what I expected at Marvel, that they would be competitive, that they would stay in it. So considering how the Dogs played last night, maybe North are better than what people think, or maybe Footscray just played really well for the centenary match, but that's slightly irrelevant since there's no more bets on North anytime coming soon. Today it's Adelaide and Essendon for the multi, but yes, that was good. $48 back, odds of $2.40 for the $20 bet, got 48. So winning on both. Overall now, racing is around about 10% profit, 10.42%. Sport is minus 14%, but we have clawed back a little bit of that money and hopefully we'll do so again today. So March 22, Golden Slipper Day, massive day. Most of the money invested at Rosehill, some at Moonee Valley, a fraction at Ascot, and just couldn't fit in Ellerslie, where there's the New Zealand Oaks and other assorted, dynamic, excellent, good races. So as always, it's tricky. A lot of skipped races today, just because there's so much competition. Some were just too open next straight away. So let's get right into it. And let's start with Sydney, because that's where the main action is. So race 1, pretty competitive. Lugano was strong, winning a Class 1 at Wyong. Artful, oh no, the scratchings just come through. So Artful Persuasion is out, so is Primito. They were sort of a couple that I was going to throw into Quinellas. Inferencia was one that I picked at Rosehill 2 starts back, where it ran down the track 8th. Then it's come out and won regionally, paid $6 at its last start. The way that it won, I was impressed. It sprinted really quickly. So with that in mind, I will go each way on Inferencia, and then Quinella for 10 Lugano, 14 Inferencia. Scratchings have really decimated this for us. Maybe number 9, It's a Wonder. So 9, 10, and 14. Just something to ease into the day. Primito and especially Artful Persuasion would have offered some value, but now this race is a bit more of a standard 10 to 12 horse affair. So yes, we'll move on quickly to race 2. Pona Stakes, 1900 meters. Pretty open. Hinge is trying to work its way back into form. Positivity I prefer at Caulfield. Little Buyers hit this amazing patch of form lately, holding them all off last time, leading, holding off Mare of Mount Buller, classy horse. The market, this is a classic case of a horse where it hits a retrain of form. The wins are really good, but people just expect that it's going to lose. They just think, oh, it's above its ceiling and it'll fall back to earth. And often they don't. It'll probably run a place today, may even win again. Barrier 1 for a leader, drawn perfectly, $13. Sounds great. Mare of Mount Buller, classy horse, almost got there last time. Genzano is a Group 3 winner. It's a knockout. Yes, two starts. It's right in prime time now. Ready to strike, but still a good placing last time. Harmonious Senor has been building steadily in this preparation. Don't be surprised. It's a knockout, couldn't cross last time. That's something I also wanted to mention. I had to go back, it was a bit further back than I would have liked. Today from Barrier 4 should be a totally different story. And what would have been interesting, La Spirit Dealer was an accepted for 2 races. It's accepted here. So it will be interesting how that will go. It is out of La Sweaty Spirit, which was a really capable horse and often started at massive odds and would deliver. So that one last at 40 to 1. The genes are just still going along and doing that. So that's 80 to 1. That could easily surprise. Brigadine Gal was impressive last time out, but I feel like the rising class will be tricky. And I know it was a Group 3 at Kembla behind Verona Rose ran really well. I just don't think it'll get that same pace and be able to hit the line as hard. I will be having, it'll be really just be a pick out of Mare of Apple, or it's a knockout. I'll go it's a knockout because I think it's ready to fire. And then some kind of Quinella around Hinged, number 1, Genzano, number 4, 7, Mare of Mount Buller, 8, it's a knockout. I'll consider Brigadine Gal. It'll all be in the sheet at the end. But yeah, pretty competitive. I'd just go Mare of Mount Buller, or it's a knockout. I think the favourites will get back on top here. And let's not forget that Hinged ran Buckaroo to a nose second, so hopefully it can recapture that form after a couple of mediocre trials and 7th. Race 3, Manion Cup, 2,400 metres. Well, LL Kantz versus the world. LL Kantz and Birdman versus the world. LL Kantz led pretty much the whole time last time, held them off really well, held off Warmonger, serious staying horse. The competition here isn't super strong. Athabascan's working its way into form a little bit. Capable in the class, doesn't really like dry. Cleveland had a good second in its trial, but it's still sort of trying to work its way back into form, but it's over the odds, better than the 26s. Francesco Guardi, the form looks terrible. However, it is down in class, and this isn't a strong race. Our anchorage has been up for a while, unsure. Birdman's drawn badly. I know it's $3.90, but it's $4 now. Still a bit of a risk. Mormona likes wet, which it won't get. Tricky race. I would expect LL Kantz to run a placing, but something to beat it. Just whoever gets the better run. Could be a Strathtay, could be a Man's Voice. These horses that tend to pop up from time to time. Interesting to note that True Marvel's in there at 200 to 1, which from memory won at a really short odds on a Melbourne Cup day in one of those sort of Lavazza long black scenarios ages ago. How times change. Let's just go each way on LL Kantz. You can just tell this is a race I don't really just sort of want to have an interest in for the bonus bets, but sort of want to bypass. So each way on LL Kantz, and then an exotic field to win 1, 2, or 3 for second, and the same for third. 1, 2, and actually no, we'll make that an exacta. So field to win, and then 1, 2, and 3 for second. I just feel like one of those top weights will run a placing, and that placing maybe the second placing. So race 3, race 4, great race. This is the Darby Munro Stakes, 1,200 metres listed race. Really competitive. Form lines all over the place. It sort of drops away from about 13 onwards, flying for fun. It gets a bit more country form, but above that, it's all top shelf stuff. Pisces is a bit of the Tom Kitten of the 3-year-old and 2-year-old world. It was always unlucky. It's drawn again, barrier 14. It's better than the $23 mark, but probably will have to go back a long way. Enriched was really good last time, accelerated really well. It was a really impressive win. It did only beat Flying for Fun, but overall the race was good. Autumn Glow, 3 starts, 3 wins. It's back here. That's compressed the market. That's $1.90. All these other horses are inflated odds as a result. Fearless, ran in really good races. Golden Rose behind Broadsiding. Also want to mention Enriched beat Zaitung last time. Zaitung's a really good horse, so that's a big tick. Pisces was close up to Bitter Creek. Ikasara straight into the deep end. Has been running in these top shelf group races. 3 trials since, first, second, first. that's an impressive record. Clear Proof has won before at big odds, placed at reasonably big odds. That's 80-1 again. Just keep your eye on that horse. I think it's going to be a surprise for its whole career. Sergeant Major's been running in those good races in Melbourne against like Angel Capital and the like. Let's Face the Music, Steel Strike, form still decent. Steel Strike's leader, it's drawn out. The depth of character form from Queensland has faded a bit. So overall, I'm really impressed with the Ikasara trials, and I think that that's going to be cherry ripe. Go Waterhouse, Adrian Bott first up. I'll take on Autumn Glow a little bit. It's had a few underwhelming trials. The $1.90 is pretty short. It's a pretty good field. I don't really want to be on. If it wins, cool. That's great. It's a champ. So each way Ikasara, and then each way enriched at the same time, and then a Quinella with 1 Pisces, 2 enriched, 6 Ikasara, 8 Clear Proof, 10 Sergeant Major. Alabama State's a good one as well. 11 starts, 3 wins. Really good race. Race 5, the Ranvet 2,000 metres. Yeah, Via Sistina, $1.30 favourite. So this one will be interesting. Lindemann should lead again. Faulkner Park is a better racehorse than I thought. 21 starts, 9 wins, 3 placings. It'll be a little bit steep here. This is going to be tough. Al Mubhir out of Frankel. It's only a small field, but it's very, very tricky. Full Count Felicia's out of the Breeders' Crown in the US. We don't see a lot of that over here. In that most recent run, it was on the pace but wilted. A lot of the horses from the back didn't make ground. Before that, it was a Group 1 winner, won by 3.5 lengths. So that will be super interesting to watch. Golden Path was only reeled in maybe with a length or 2 to go by Fangirl and Via Sistina last time. So that will go forward and give us sight. Al Mubhir, the English form, it's sort of been around the mark. It's getting up to the distance it wants. It's a real interest race. I think Via Sistina, it probably will win, but the $1.30 is no value. So from a betting perspective, there's not really much there. It's a pure watch for me, just a pure interest race. Race 6, Rosehill Guineas. This is cool. Not a huge field. Broadsiding, it might have been taken a little bit by surprise last time. Fairly strong tempo, sat second. I know that Linebacker did hold it off, but it just might have not been the way. It might not have been able to settle and get comfortable in the run. Gold Rush Guru made huge ground at Flemington behind Feroce. I would have thought it was more of a 2,500 metre horse, but that was really great over 1,600. Swift Falcon's been around the mark. Checkmate in New Zealand has been running on well. I think it could be a little bit dour for something like this. I'd rather see it in sort of a rain-affected, longer distance New Zealand race. Plymouth doesn't win super often. Made good ground on the fence last time without threatening, so the 17 is probably fair. Our Benefactor, decent horse. Same of the Dream is the same. Aliana the same. It does seem like Broadsiding is a class above. The Barrier 9 is a little bit tricky. I would be having just something for the win on Broadsiding, knowing that you get bonus bets back, and then expecting Gold Rush Guru to run on really well. Plymouth, Our Benefactor, Mallorca Sunset should lead. But yeah, I'll be going for Broadsiding for the win, and then Trifecta 1 and 2 into 1 and 2 into 1, 2, 7, throwing in Our Benefactor. Race 7, George Ryder Stakes. Again, small field, but this is great. Che Wolf versus Tom Kitten. Royal Patronage is off a win. Buckaroo, Fangirl. Where to begin? Che Wolf's finally getting into the right distance range. Should be set to fire over 1,500. Tom K's been so consistent. Deserved the win last time a lot over Mr. Brightside. One of the preeminent horses in the country. Drawn poorly here as he often is. Royal Patronage, great win first up. Buckaroo over the odds. I know that the distance is a little bit short for it, but this is a really classy horse. You can never write these Caulfield Cup horses off over this distance, just like with Duke de Sessa. Gringotts, the money was huge at Kembla Grange when it won. Not exactly sure it'll be up to it. Here, maybe it is a top-line horse on the way. I'll just sort of give it a miss for the moment. Celestial Legend, the form looks bad, but it's not as bad as it seems. The form behind V8, that horse hasn't really kicked on it as we expected, but even still 80-1 for Celestial Legend is a bit too much. Same with Kovalika, 100-1. It's a much better horse than that. This is a horse that's running Cox Plates. It hasn't been far away in general. So 100-1, pretty decent. Fangirl, great horse. Stevie Magnetica, given no chance last time, was posted wide, was gone already on the turn. I just love that horse, and so we'll have something each way. If I was purely going objectively, it'd be Cheowolf. But, factoring in a bit of sentimentality, it will be a bit of Steffi Magnetica each way. And then something for the place on Buckaroo, I feel like that's over the odds. And then exotic-wise, I'll be putting in Kovalika and Celestial Legend to maybe grab a place. Depends in these races where there's a clear pod of Cheowolf, Tom Kitten, and Fangirl who'll be eyeballing each other. Often they can, in that scenario, they're too worried about each other and they forget about some of the other threats. So in that little battle, someone will win, someone will lose, and it's not just like 1, 2, and 10 will run the trifecta. Someone will have the lesser run, the more Deville run will fall out, and something else at longer odds might fall in. So, yep, each way on Steffi. Cheowolf's right, up to the right distance range, absolutely classy horse. So we'll have something for the win on that as well, and do across tab and Sportsbet. Golden Slipper, race 8. Promotional and Sportsbet get paid if you run second as a winner. Makes it pretty interesting. Really, really good addition of the Golden Slipper for me. I think the Sydney form's probably going to be superior to Melbourne. Devil Knight seems to be a much better horse than what I expected, just from its when it was coming into the Blue Diamond off of one good second. Often the Blue Diamond can favour on pace horses. I just feel like the form in Sydney's been so strong with your North Englands, your Wotatons, your Skyhooks, your Tempteds, Maruna even hitting straps now, Rivellino. I'd be expecting a Sydney horse to win. Rivellino, the 3 wins have been really good. It's definitely high class. It has had a good ride each time. It's had a lot of cover. It's been popped off at the right time. So from barrier 3 going back here, I don't think it's as great a proposition. Devil Knight I'll sort of watch. North England had a bit of a torrid run last time. Even still, so it's not something that I'll back, but the 21 is definitely over the odds. Tycoon Star made a lot of ground behind Devil Knight where not too many did. So the 15 is value. Western Swindon Bay whacked, I'll leave. Skyhook, the win here was huge last time. It was more of a run on track, but that was on pace and just kept on going further and further ahead. Might not have beaten too much, but just from eyeballing at the way that it looked, that's what I want to be on at above all the others. Wotaton, I know it's $5 favourite, but for me the jury's out. Any of the 10 tiers form seems to be good. That is a horse that's surprised a few people, me included, but probably is a real top liner. So Wotaton, not really sure. It's now to 550. King of Pop, quietly arrogant, far-sighted, all possible chances within the law, same deal. There's just too many good horses with good form coming into this. Tempted, had that dull 7th, made a lot of ground in the Blue Diamond, returned to form at Ranvet, came from the back, huge win over Maruna. Barrier 1 probably doesn't suit, deserves to be favourite. Bella's Aim will come across from barrier 13 and lead. It's a real mess. It's hard to make sense of. Military Tycoons refound form, and Maruna did look good last time. I was impressed with the way that it kept on fighting with Tempted. So I'll do Skyhook at 8s each way, Maruna at 10s each way, and then a Quinella for 3 North England, 4 Tycoon Star, 7 Skyhook, 13 Tempted, 16 Maruna. Within the law, just has to miss out. Great race, and make sure you make use of the promotion there. Race 9, the Galaxy, the Oakley Plate equivalent of New South Wales. Probably the horse that gets the best weight relief is Commemorative, number 14. Private Harry's in a rich vein of form. Commemorative is coming off a good win Last time it was like the last race of the day at Randwick, beat Outback Miss. 51 kilos is a real gift. Going to the top weights here, Uncommon James resumed after a long sort of layoff. Behind Jetterville, ran fourth. Wasn't too bad, hit the front early, just sort of lost ground at the end, probably a bit of conditioning showed through. To me, Front Page will go forward. Eagle's Nest might also go forward. Jetterville looked really good. Lady Laguna and I am capable. Growing Empire is the one I definitely want to be on at the $9. It's resumed and run in 2 Group 1s behind Skybird and behind Jolly Star. Hasn't really threatened in either, but it's been quite close up. Behind Jolly Star, it finished a lot closer than many of them did, like your Benedettas, your Mahabas. Was up on the pace, which was a better place to be, but even still, I think coming off those 2 Group 1s here with 56 kilos, it's a little bit of weight relief from the top runners. It's not too far from the bottom weights, still far from commemorative, but that's what I want to be on. I feel like that is value at 9s. Front Page might run better than the $12. I wouldn't be taking Briasa. I would like to see that run against some real top liners before I could consider it here, even though it has got a lightish weight, but from barrier 13, it won't be easy. But yes, want to be on Growing Empire and then Uncommon James, Lady Laguna to fill out some exotics. And race 10, Birthday Card Stakes, Group 3. Drifting's out of form. Outback Miss was pretty decent last time. Coco Jambu loves to run on. It's a horse I like. Trials have been okay. Might not get the space it needs. I think Spring Lee is the one that's in form. It's going to go forward. It wasn't a bad run last time behind Commemorative. I think from barrier 7, it's pretty well suited. And Wooler Win number 11 looks like a bit of a top liner. Great first up record. It's at a trial. It's only been running in 78 grade in class 4, but I think that's a horse on the up. So for me, Quinella, 3 Coco Jumbo, 8 Spring Lee, 11 Wooler Win. And then there's no bonus bets offered on this, so that makes me less keen to do an each way bet. So that's Rosehill. Jumping quickly into Moonee Valley, 11 races today. That's pretty much unheard of. Huge day. So race 1, 2,500 meters. Still run, I'd rather take it Flemington. I think it needs a bigger track. Bird Buys had a couple of runs back in now. Getting up to the right distance range probably benefits from going forward the most out of these. Commander Harry should also tackle for the lead with My Rock Ali. Early warning, is a good Paul Pruska stayer. Jinga's Prestige was good last time. It's a bit too competitive. I'll just do each way on Bird Dubai. I think it deserves to be favourite. I think the conditions suit. Should like Moonee Valley. Otherwise, it's too hard to pick. Race 2, 1,200 metre listed race, the Valley Pearl. Small field, G Mumu I backed recently, ran on only okay. Pure Passion, same sort of deal. Prestige Forever was good behind Shining Smile. Chagui's running some good quality listed races, a little bit seasoned now, ran a good third behind McGaw last time. It's only a small field, so probably Chagui wins. Warrior Smile had good trials. Gable's a first starter as well. Maybe it might be easy for a back marker here. Pure Passion and Jenny Mumu won't be too far off these leaders. If they cut each other up a little bit, they might be right in the frame. Tricky betting race. Either just go Chagui each way as the favourite, or maybe have something on, pick one of the back markers like Pure Passion or Jenny Mumu. Race 3, 1,200 metre 78 grade. This one, they're all pretty even. A lot of them are first up. Top Caliber's the favourite, but it's drawn wide. Too hard. Just haven't got enough. When picking funds, that'll be a skip. Race 4, Manhari Handicap. This one, a lot of scratchings. Probably the best credentialed recently. Lethal Thoughts has been working into form. Cabba 39 has been really consistent. The dad had a win last time, only its second career win. Massive place getter, as we all know. Now it's burdened with 61 kilos. Too tough. Sunset's resuming. El Rocco is capable. Doesn't like dry. It probably will stay a soft 5, so that would help it. Totally a chance at 20-1. Stay focused. Dropping down from Group 1 runs to this. Sorry, one Group 1 run behind Feroci and then a Group 3 run behind Seapals. Both times it's led. That's also at Moonee Valley. It's usually great for leaders. So I'd either go Stay Focused because of that class drop or stick with the informed horses, Cabba 39 or Lethal Thoughts. Maybe favouring Kappa because Lethal Thoughts from barrier 5 might be tricky to go back. But yes, Stay Focused probably is good value dropping back in grade. Race 5, the Yarra Valley Cup, 2,000 metres. Dashing Duchess likes the track, likes the distance. Golden Crusader should go forward. Same deal, likes Moonee Valley, likes it soft, has a good claim. Basilina would much prefer back at Flemington. Fortune's been in the Annabelle Neesham yard and just been 5 or 6 runs in, working its way up. So that's definitely in the frame. I'd just do Dashing Duchess as the favourite, 380. Decent value, likes the track, should run well. Alistair Clark Stakes, race 6. This is pretty cool. Chanwa accelerated really well to win at Caulfield. Had a couple of lengths in hand, so if it can hold that condition, it should be pretty hard to beat here at the 250. Red Aces, even though it wants a little bit more distance, it's run well at Moonee Valley here. Over this 2,000 metres, so the $10 is overs. Opening address will be around the mark. Detroit City hasn't run over the 2,000 before. That will be interesting. And then Politely Done, Emphasize, horses on the up. I'll stick with Chamois, just because the win last time was really good. And then a trifecta with Red Aces, so those two for first, those two for second. And then Opening Address and Detroit City with those for third. Just keeping it simple. Race 7, Two Done Lizzie's the favourite. I think Chillichap really likes or sees a difference in slow versus good ground. So I think if there's a little bit of that, given the track, it really suits that horse. Hurry Curry's over the odds. That is a good place chance today at 17s. Phenom should run well at 8s. Some of them, like Peter Wawa and Lightfoot down the order, coming straight from like Corowa for Lightfoot and Peter Wawa straight from Canberra. That'll be a bit tricky here. I don't expect them to threaten. Gala Queen coming across from Adelaide. They ran that pretty fast and Gala Queen was carted into the race. Still classy though. Two Done Lizzie we know just is a good horse. So I'll be going Chillichap each way and then the standout Quinella Chillichap either with Two Done Lizzie, Hurry Curry or Phenom. And if it's Two Done Lizzie, it won't pay much whatsoever. Race 8, Sunline Stakes Group 2. This one was tough. I just had a quick scan, thought that it was too difficult and moved on. However, I do like Lady Jones, especially at Moonee Valley. I think it really has an affinity for this track. From Barry 11, it will go back. I just want to be each way on that. And then otherwise, this is a pure watch race. Molly Bloom doesn't really deliver very often. I'm surprised it's favourite. Grinzinger Bell still trying to recapture form. This could be set up for an outsider. Wishlaw Lass is very capable at 26s. Leah Vore at 71 isn't a bad horse. Charisse at 16th. Yeah, I'm very sus on the favourites. Thinking outsiders, but it's a pure watch for me. Race 9, the William Reid. 1,200 metres, Group 1. Really good race. Benedetta and Mahaba were too far back at Flemington behind Jolly Star. Even so, Mahaba didn't do much. Ray Magnerio, well, it hasn't run here before, so it's a bit of a question mark. Jimmy Star was really good, winning at Caulfield. Beating She's Bulletproof, came from last. Barrier 2 here, it's going to go back in a small field. Shouldn't be too difficult for it, but at the $3, do I want to take it? Not sure. Schwartz should lead. Stretton Angel's been in great form. Third behind Jolly Star, only 3 lengths. Second behind Skybird, only 1 length. Probably the best credential going in. She's Bulletproof, capable, reserve, Bag Raven, so on. Everyone's got a chance. I would just be going for... I'm actually not going to bet. I'm just very interested to watch. Maybe something on Stretton Angel. But otherwise, I would normally go Mahaba. I just don't think it's up to Group 1 grade. I think Group 3, Group 2, yes. Group 1, I'm still not sure, even though it's a horse I really think is on the up. It just seemed flat last time. And yeah, it's much more of a watch race for me. And then race 10 and 11, same deal. I was out of funds, and then so these will just be watch races. I've missed Ellerslie in terms of having enough funds to disperse there, but in Ascot, just want to point to race 2. There's a few first starters. Energetics had some good trials. I feel like he's over the odds. Last week, this was the same deal. There were some races there where you had sort of 5 first starters. A few of them had trials and run second and third, and they looked good. One of them I backed at was actually 40 to 1. It ended up drifting to 60s and it lost by a nose. So it paid 11 for the place. I had that. Would have been a huge win. So just trying to recapture or find the same thing with Energetic here in race 2. And then trifecta, number 5, Energetic, number 7, Who's Bent, also has had good trials. 5 and 7 as roaming bankers with the field. That's everything. That's a really, felt like a really rushed jump through the Golden Slipper meeting. Sport-wise, the 2 best promos were on Thursday and Friday night, where you definitely got a bonus bet back with sports bet on the AFL. I missed both of those because we're doing this on a Saturday morning. So the best game from my point of view is Adelaide Essendon. I think it'll be high scoring. I don't know who will win. I don't really want to bet against Essendon as an Essendon supporter, but I'm just too clouded with picking either way. So I'll do a same game multi. I won't take anyone to actually have an outcome. So I will do Fogarty for 2 or more goals, Rankine for 1 or more, Rochelle for 1 or more. I just think with Adelaide Essendon, it's usually high scoring. Often they do play at Marvel, which feeds into that. But even still today, the weather's pretty good. So I think it'll be sort of a 85 to 100 match where someone loses in those conditions. And I think it'll be a lot of goals. So $20 on that at $3 odds, potentially 60 back. So great day. We are trying to get some either sport profits or some bonus bets to use next week. That would have really helped us today. If we had a $20 bonus bet, say we had lost last week, then we could have looked at Ellerslie and could have had more of a play at Ascot and some of those last final races in Melbourne. So anyway, that's the day. Have a great betting day yourselves, and we'll see you next week.
And then came Sweet Liaison as they turned for home. Jefferson, he's been in front every inch of the way. He's out wide too.